Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another episode of the Pattern Showdown where I take two similar sewing patterns from different pattern companies and compare them to one another. Today's video is going to be on tea dresses. I had the 1940s tea dress from Sew Over It versus the Amelia tea dress from Simple Sew. So I went ahead and filmed some clips of me wearing the dresses and I'll insert those in a bit. I just kind of wanted to go over the details of the dresses real quick in case you couldn't pick them up in the photo or the video. So the first one, this is the Sew Over It 1940s tea dress I made out of a crepe that I picked up from the Sew Over It website. If you guys can hear anything strange in the background, that's Pepper scratching at the basement door. I had to kick them out of the basement because they wouldn't be quiet. Okay, so back to the dresses. The 1940s tea dress has a nice, I want to say, what would you guys call this? It's not a 3/4 sleeve because it doesn't hit past your elbow. It kind of sits at the elbow, so would that be considered a short sleeve? But either way, it has a nice sleeve that has a gather detail at the top, a cuff detail at the end, and it hits right around at your elbow, if not a little bit past. The bodice has a nice V-neck shape with, I don't know if this will be able to get picked up because the pattern on the dress, but it has gathers at the bust. So I don't know if you might be able to see that in the video. And then it also has a nice facing and an invisible zip in the back. Now the skirt on this one is composed of 5 different panels. It has the main panel in the front and then the side skirt panel and then the back skirt panel, 2 of each, making it 5 total panels. Okay, the Amelia dress is also from a crepe fabric that I picked up from sewoverit.com. It has a nice shearing detail at the waistline, which I was really intimidated to do at first because I've never sewn anything with shearing elastic before. But honestly, it wasn't even that hard. A beginner, total beginner could do this. And I'll put a link to the Professor Pincushion tutorial that I watched when I needed help on how to get started. Okay, back to the dress. So like I said, it has a nice shearing detail at the waist, a nice little V-neck neckline, and the sleeves are like a little bit of a flutter sleeve. The skirt is composed of just 3 panels, so you have your main skirt panel and then the 2 back panels, and it also has an invisible zip in the back and a facing in the back as well as the front. So yep. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and insert those clips so you guys can see what it looks like while I'm wearing it. Clips helpful, so let's go ahead and get started comparing these patterns. Now I have 5 criteria that I compare these 2 patterns to one another. The first one is the fit and the sizing. The second one are how well the instructions are written. The third one is if a sew-along is offered and if the sew-along is helpful. Fourth one is the options that you get with the pattern, and then the fifth one is your availability, so that's PDF versus printed. So we'll start with the first one, which is fit and sizing. So for the Amelia T dress, I measured at a size 8 in all 3 categories, and I sewed the size 8 and I had no problem with the fit. I actually really like how this dress fits, and I think the shearing detail on the waist portion also helps with that as well, because it can like stretch a little bit if you're just like a little bit bigger in the waist area. I hope that makes sense to you guys. And then for the 1940s tea dress, I measured at a size 8 in the bodice and 10 with the waist and the hips. So I sewed the 8 in the bodice and then the 10 in the waist and the hips. Now the only problem that I had with the sew over it pattern was the bust fitting. So how it fits, let's see if I can show you guys here. So you see this, like the waist detailing, how it kind of goes up to a point, and then you have your bust panels and they're gathered at the bottom. So I found that this portion right here, the under the bust, didn't really sit under the bust. It sat a little bit higher up, which I felt uncomfortable. And then also the bust where the gathers were and stuff, it was too big. So even though I measured at the size 8 perfectly, actually, it didn't fit very well. So just for the fit, I'm gonna go with the tea dress. Okay, next up are the instructions. So for the Amelia dress here, instructions are very simple. It just comes in the pamphlet like this. So you get your, I'll just show you in the back. You get your instructions, and there's pictures that show you step by step. I actually had no problems with these instructions. They were very simple to follow. There was nothing that I found I was like scratching my head while reading. So Amelia T dress, very well written instructions. And then the 1940s T dress, you get a booklet, and you also get step-by-step illustrations with your instructions. And also there was nothing in this that I found difficult to follow along with. So honestly, these are both very well written instructions, so they're both gonna get a point. Alright, next is the availability of a sew-along. So I tried looking for a sew-along for the Amelia T dress, and I could not find one on the Simple Sew website, and I also could not find any that other people have done. But I did see a sew-along on the Sew Over It website for their 1940s tea dress, and it was very well written and had pictures so you could follow along. So the 1940s tea dress gets that point. Alright, the next one is options. So this one is a little bit silly just for this, these patterns, because the Sew Over It only has one pattern, one option, and it's this one. And then the Amelia dress has 2 versions. Right, the Amelia looks pretty much the same, except it has 2 different sleeve lengths. That's it. So, I mean, I guess it is another option, so that's gonna be the Amelia T dress. Alright, and then your last one is your option availability. Now I like to put this one in here because I know some people are, you know, printed pattern only, or they love PDFs, so it's nice to have options when you are picking out a pattern. So the Simple Sew, the Amelia only comes in a printed pattern, but the 1940s tea dress comes in a printed pattern as well as a PDF, so you have options there. So I'm going to go ahead and give that point to the 1940s tea dress. And, oh, and just one random note too. The pattern paper for the 1940s tea dress I really like because it's on like 3 smaller sheets, which was very easy to manage when I was taping it to my window so I can trace it, whereas the Amelia just came in one big giant sheet that I couldn't put on my window, so I had to end up cutting the pattern. Like I said, that's no big deal. That's not nothing that I grade them on or compare them to one another. I just kind of like to throw that in as a, I guess, FYI if you're someone who likes to trace their patterns. The 1940s tea dress is going to be a lot easier to trace than the, let me put it the right way, than the Amelia dress. Alright, so that's all I have for you guys. I hope you found this video helpful, and if you like these types of videos, please give me a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button so you know when I post my next pattern showdown. And I'll be seeing you next with a fabric haul. Alright.